All right, all right, all right. We got a good show for you guys today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Definitely excited to be here. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend. It seems like time is flying by. If your first time dialing in, this is Coach Brian King. This is pre-market Mondays. We jump on this about 7 o'clock, sometimes 7:30, to check out the markets to see if we can find some pre-market moves before the day takes off. Let's go ahead and start this officially as well. Say my three M's with me: mindset, multiplication, and management. It's Coach Brian King. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this, and I want to kind of look at everything to see, are there some setups that we can jump on potentially to put ourselves in position to make some quick money. Now, here's my game plan. My game plan is hopefully we can find some setups, and these setups we can make some money before the market opens, which I think is the best. Why? Because who doesn't want to make money before the day actually starts? So just kind of write this down, please. You need to kind of keep an eye on the markets right around this time. This could be 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock New York, and take it all the way to about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So right around a 3 hour window. So as I pull this up, let's go ahead and check it out. We're going to be looking at the NQ. Kind of did something a little different with the candles. So I'm going to go to the 1 hour time frame. And I just want to mark some things out. I'll clear all of this stuff up that I have on here. And I like to do that because it's very important to kind of start from scratch on how you want to view the markets. Does that make sense? So let's check out these candles. Let's make it a little different today. I won't go hollow candles. I'll go just Japanese. Do. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I have this set to New York time, so I'm going to go back 1 hour right here. 1 hour. And we're going to build up a case, right? It's very important to build up a case when you're trading, right? And let's just change that to black. Boom. And then we want to take this out to right around 10 o'clock. Yep, 3 hours. 3 hours. Anybody like 3 hours? Okay. Nothing's happened yet. Now, also, what I want to do is kind of zoom out, and what we're trying to do is get a gauge. And just look at this, folks. Like, I thought something was wrong with my computer. Does everybody see the size of this candle? It is humongous. Humongous. This is shown on the monthly. So let me just ask everybody, what is it trending from month over month? Very simple answer. It is very, very high. Does everybody see that? So as we're building this, right, we're looking at this monthly candle. Let's zoom down to the weekly, and it's the same exact thing. And now what we're trying to find out is, how can I get some entry in here? Now, here's another thing that's actually showed up as well is we have a gap that's right between, it's right here. What we know from the past is that the market will often gap down to fix that. We don't know exactly when, but what I think about gaps is just think of those as just money opportunities, right? Money opportunities, because the gaps will eventually fill, and they always do. Now, sometimes it'll happen during the week, sometimes it could happen during the day. It really depends on what you're looking at. Let's look at a 4 hour. Look at that, folks. And if I were to kind of do 50% of the gap, it's kind of my go-to. Let me do this right quick. Wrong tool. There we go. There we go. I'm going to do a fib retracement. I don't even have to do a fib retracement. I just do a ruler. You see that line in the middle? I'm going to call that my money line. Yep. And the reason I'm calling that money line, right? That's going to be 50% of that gap. And I'm just going to write some notes for it right there as well. Now, notice I'm not just jumping in trading, right? Like I'm wanting to see what's going on. I'm taking time to put it all together. And I'm starting to kind of anticipate what can happen. So 50% of the move, if the market came down, and think about it, this kind of came down a little bit here, a little bit there. It might be that we get a deep retracement to fill in that gap. Does everybody see that? Let me just double check something right quick. Okay, good. Awesome. So we look at this setup right quick as well. And now as we come down to that hour, look what we're wanting to do. We're trying to see everything that's happened. Now let's build this up. We have buying zone right here as well, also known as the demand zone. Areas that institutions are wanting to kind of do a footprint. You can tell by the movement and the volume. And then we have this place here where the market just keeps on going up. So this was another potential zone. You guys see that? You know, we love to put that one in red. But what it's showing is we had some selling, buying, and then we had a violation of the zone right quick as well, right here, which if you look at it, became a rally-based drop. Rally-based drop. Rally-based rally, continuation. So this was a continuation pattern right quick as well. Look what happened. The market shot up, it retraced one time. Gotcha. Bounce back. And now it looks like we're having a continuation. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We went backwards to really build up the story to find out, okay, where are the major moves happening? Now, here's what I like to add. I like to add the volume profile. What it does is it gives me an edge to find out what I should be paying attention to. And it's important to be able to do that because you want to see where is the movement in the market. So let's check this out, ladies and gentlemen, and this kind of helps out even more. If we were able to zoom out, and I'm doing this on the 30-minute time frame, two areas that we can identify that really took off are right here. I'm going to change the color so this sticks out. I'll put that in blue. You guys see that? That's one. Right here. Oh, come on, my mouse is tripping this morning. And we're at the edge right here as well. Now, here's what we don't know. We don't know if there's going to be a deep retracement. We don't. We can only just go off of historical moves. So as I zoom out, what I'm trying to find is, and I'm looking at the NQ as well, NASDAQ. I want to find out what can be done or what are some of the possibilities. What I've learned over time is that you really can't identify what is considered a bottom. So I'm looking at the edge of volumes on this side right quick as well. And I'm looking at the middle to kind of give me a range of what possibly can happen. Now, let me just do a step back. Let's go back to the daily. And I know we got a lot on this, but that's fine. Just track with me. And this is what happened on Friday. So this is one thing I love to do. I like to kind of get a range to say, okay, what's going on? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a line. And this line is going to represent what my highs and low were for that particular day. And let me just change this one to, let's just change this to red. Let me copy that. You guys see it? So we're looking at this particular candle here. This was Friday's candle. Okay. Let's write it down so we won't get lost. Mm, mm, mm. Friday's candle. And this is Monday's candle right here as well. You guys see that? So we have the range. We're looking at it. This is Monday's candle. So let's just zoom back and look at this. We are trading above the range. And if you're just dialing in, we're looking at NASDAQ. This is Coach Brian King, pre-market setups. We're trying to identify if we can find some type of movement in where this candle can go. and we're in our sweet spot right quick as well. So I have this at 8:13 New York, but the move started at 7. We want to find out from 7 to 10 if we can find some type of deep retracement, something that can happen where we can get into the markets. Okay. These red dotted lines serve as what the high and low were on Friday. And now we're on Monday, of course. Okay. Let's zoom in a little bit. So now we got the 15-minute candle. And you guys kind of heard the range we're looking at. So we're looking between these two black lines, these dots. And I want to find out, is there any place that potentially I could get some entry? Anything can happen. I want to see what the markets are actually saying, right? Let's go check the chat to see if we have any type of questions. Good. Everybody seems to be good. Let me just go back to comments. Beautiful. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Awesome. So we're looking at this setup. We're in between these time frames of 7 a.m. EST all the way to 10, 3-hour window. And now I'm looking at the candles going into it. So now we're zooming in here to find out what could happen. So let's draw it out even more. Selling going on right quick as well. This candle had something called an FVG. Yes, in a place where there were some orders. I'm going to put this in yellow. Pay attention, folks. We might be able to go ahead and find something. That's why I love trading at this time, the possibilities. You guys see it? 3-candle formation. Watch this. Candle 1. I'm sorry, we'll start here. Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. Big gap between. That's why I have the yellow box. Bottom of this wick to this wick. Now look what happened. The markets came here one time, 2, 3, 4. They've pretty much filled the orders. They've shot down, and now we're bouncing back. The question is, and this is just kind of some of the basics, you never want to be buying in a sell zone, and you never want to be selling in a buy zone. Does that make sense? So seeing that there was a gap that was filled previously, and this started about 4:30 this morning, and it pretty much got filled back in around 7. That was a 3-hour move. We want to see, is there going to be another place that we can get in? And so let's see if we can identify gaps. We had this gap as a 3-candle formation, 1, 2, and 3. That's right here. You guys see that? Let's put this in a little bit of different color so we won't start getting mixed up. But check out this one. Candle shot up. Okay. Look at the green. This was the retest right here as well. If you wanted to catch that move right here, you guys see it? Wig down, and now it's going back and forth. What it's looking like is we're trying to decide, or the markets are trying to decide, that we want to continue to go higher, or is there going to be another gap that gets filled in? So let's go to a very low time zone, right? I'm doing really a good top-down analysis. I'm looking at the setups to see, can we find some movement in it? But let's just look at this area right here as well. You guys see that? And I want to draw a rectangle box. And what this box is going to represent, it's going to represent just buying and selling. It's just consolidation. I call it when it's real choppy. And I don't know about you. I hate when it's trading very choppy like that. It's kind of like, okay, pick a decision, what's going on. And we really don't know. We don't know. What we do know is we're getting a lot of rejection. And how can we tell this? We have wick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, and I forgot these on the outside. So it's at a place right now on this rejection of the wicks, along with the volume that's at the bottom, that perhaps we should be looking to the downside. Now, another thing that I need to pay attention to, because I am on the 5-minute, right? And we're in a zone, is we have another sell zone right quick as well. So you're like, Coach, how do you find all these zones? Eventually your eye gets trained to it, and you start to practice and understand and say, okay, listen, I'm seeing where the market is going. Let me pay attention to it. Now check this out, ladies and gentlemen. We have another gap zone that's here as well. We have one that's right below it, a bunch of selling. And currently, this candle right here as well, wants to move. So this is the 5 minute. Now, what's great is we look at this red line, which is called a point of control, POC, point of control. And basically what that means is this was an area that institutions made a major move. Yeah, it's a fight. And look at this candle, folks. We're seeing it move. We are seeing it move. Now, one thing, if you're doing the futures market, you can decide how many contracts that you want to do. If you're doing this in indices on Forex, you can see how many pips that you want to do. But look at this setup, folks. Like we're kind of waiting. And what I like about it is that I'm looking at this candle, but there's been so much consolidation. We want to see possibly, does this candle want to go out there and sweep these lows at the bottom? Or at the minimum, come and trade out the range? Because remember, this red line right here is a range. And if we zoom in, or I'm sorry, zoom out, gotcha. Let's look at it. That's the bottom of the range. So we're at the top of the range, right? I drew this out. I don't know if you guys remember not too long ago. I had the dotted red lines here and here. This was the trading range on Friday's candle. Currently, we're above the trading range and we're trading to the outside of it, which might mean that we're going to have a continuation for the day to go to the upside. You guys understand this? So we can say, hey, the market is perhaps shifting if we start to trade below this area right here as well. Let me just go and check the chat to see if we have any questions, if this making some sense. Shout out to Paul. He said, Mr. Good Morning. I like that. I was just flowing into teaching, Paul. Good, good, good. Just let me know if you have any questions on that, and we'll just dive in just a little deeper as well. Okay, beautiful. So let's go back to this, right? We're looking at this. We have this candle. It's going back and forth. And now we need to ask ourselves, is there opportunity around this area? And I believe the astounding answer is yes. Well, how do you know that, Coach? Simple. We have areas that the market has not been to in a while. These areas have some pending orders. Well, Coach, how do you know that? Because if we look at these candles, we can see that price shot up, which also tells us that there's areas that the money has been trapped. So let's type it in there. Trapped orders. Right? These trapped orders can be from the buy side, they can be from the sell side. You guys understand this? So we need to ask ourselves, is there going to be a way that the market wants to drive price down here? Yep. And when would it do it? Now, also, if you're looking at it, we need to kind of zoom back out and really find out what happened during the London session and previous sessions. So I can go to an indicator. Let's see if we can find it. If I saved it up in here as well. Okay. That should be it. All right. Let me take some of this stuff off. Going to a very high time frame. You guys ready? Let's go to 1 hour. So let's look at this, everybody. And I don't know if you can see this on your screen. I'm trying to zoom it out so we can won't mess with your eyes a little bit. You guys ready? Now remember, this was Friday's movement. Friday, we had it. We pretty much stopped here. Look what happened. A little bit of Sunday trading, but let's really look at Tokyo's session. You guys see it. Tokyo's session was pretty flat. Let me drink some water. Excuse me. Pretty flat. Because it was flat, it was just kind of going back and forth. And if we look at London, about the same. So look at this. This was a move that happened 4 a.m. in the morning. If we look at 2 o'clock, you know what? Let's look at 2. 2, the market shot up, faked some people out. We have a little bit of a wick. As the market has been open and we're overlapping from Tokyo to London, we're seeing that it's just been pretty much sideways. Now we're coming into New York session, and this is 8 o'clock EST, right? Forex time frame. And we're trying to see what is going to be the setup for the New York Open. You guys are track with me. And as we drive down to the 15-minute, look at this, folks. Tokyo flat, London driven high. It's going back and forth. What I've seen is perhaps has it been that people think that it's going to keep on going to the upside? I think we need to start looking to see what the downside is going to be doing. Are you guys tracking with me? So there are some pending orders here, trapped orders here. Heck, there's a whole bunch of trapped orders at the bottom. Look at this zone, folks. These are our zones that have either been touched quickly or price has left violently. Let me just echo that again. Price has left violently. How do you know this? Impulse down, which was a fake out. Price shot up and chopped. Fake out, shot down once, and look at that move. So if you look at the origin of this move, it comes from this area here. So let me just ask everybody, if you're paying attention, do you think it's possible that price can jump down and come back into this area? Let me just go to the chat. Do you think that's possible? Yes. Somebody's saying no screen share the whole time I've been doing this. My gracious, I feel so bad. I have literally been teaching. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Paul. Man, I feel bad for this recording. I've been looking at this screen the whole time. Oh, wow. Rookie move, rookie mistake. That's probably, wow. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Let's go back to it. So let me just take it back. I was talking the whole time and not even sharing the screen, and I'm seeing screen share on this side. Let me just do this quickly. We're going back to the monthly. And when we go back to the monthly, just look month over month at the size of this candle. Is everybody seeing this? It is ridiculous on the size of this candle month over month. A question that I want to ask everybody is, what has been driving the market, that the market has been moving at that particular level? Does that make sense? When we go to the weekly, we can clearly see that we're breaking records. The market is trading high. We want to find out what is the overall big picture. And then as we zoom out, can we see it, right? And so once we go to the daytime frame, and I'm just kind of giving you guys a quick recap because I was speaking and I thought that you saw this. What I like to do is actually go to Friday's candle, which is this one, and I put some red dotted lines at the top, red dotted lines at the bottom. Are you guys track with me? And because I did that, I want to see what is my trading range. So normally we have a gap that's to the left of that candle, and this gap pretty much came out on Wednesday, but Thursday moved up, Friday moved up, and now we're here on Monday, and we're wanting to see, is it going to fill in the gap? So what I did was I left a personal note for myself to say, if the markets come right here, here's a 50% fill in the gap between here and here. Does everybody understand this? Whenever you're looking at a gap, you're looking at a gap because gaps provide opportunity. Write that for your notes, please, if you're listening. Now, if it's providing opportunity, we need to ask ourselves, how can we get here and what would drive price to come down that point, which would be almost, what is that, 160, 170 points, which you catch that move, that is fantastic, right? And so now we're driving down to the 1 hour. And I know I got a lot on the chart, but I was building this up. And we wanted to see, where is the market? Are you guys track with me? And currently, as we speak, we're in deep consolidation. Deep consolidation. Yep. Now, look what Jennifer said. She said Apple and NVIDIA. Yes, that is moving NVDA, moving the market. Yep. They're a big part of the spike. Yes, the spider and triple Qs are moving it as well. Very good information for you to understand in that. Very important information. Now, let's track here. Let's go somewhere. Now, if you see what's going on, so I've kind of zoomed out. And again, guys, I apologize. I wish I had this up the whole time. But I put an indicator, almost like an overlay on, and I wanted to see what happened during the previous sessions while we were sleeping, right? So we have Tokyo session, we have London session, and now we have New York session, and it looks like flat, flat, which tells me a major move is about to happen. Another thing that I'm taking in consideration is as I look at this, I'm also noticing the point of control. And the reason I love using this, it just gives me a visual of where the action is happening in the market, which has been right around here. So we've already kind of got past these edges, right? Because we've been on these edges. But now we're looking to see, hey, candles are kind of bouncing around here. Uh, are we going to defend this position and go up higher, or is it going to shoot down? What we can say is look at what the market is doing from Tokyo to here. There's been a lot of fake outs. Matter of fact, this was one of the worst moves right here as well. Look at what happened right around 2 a.m. to your time. During that hour, the market shot up and then went all the way down to 19,934, right? 19,934. And because it went down to 19,934, look at what happened. It shot down. I bet a bunch of people wanted to short it. And guess what? Money taken, and it shot all the way, I'm sorry, at the top of the London session to 20,012. Are you guys track with me? So you have all of these moves, and that's an extreme move from 19. What is that? Let me say it again. 1935 all the way to 2013. That's a 75-point move just in the Tokyo and London market. So let me just ask the chat. Where do you think the markets are going to move right now? Yep. And Mr. Paul, I have my screen up. You guys let me know if you see it. It's showing on my side. Jen, if you can let me know if you see it on your side, let me know, please. But it's showing that we do have this connection and being shared. So hopefully that's helping. Good. I'll get back to it. So trapped orders right quick as well. And the trap orders are going to be in these wicks. And I think the best way to look at this, right? I'm just going to mark this up, put this in yellow. I'm paying attention to my wicks. And as I'm seeing, this might shoot down and actually clear all of this out. Remember, this is pre-market setup. Also, as we've been looking, one thing that we wanted to do for our eye's sake is look between the two black lines, which are 7 a.m. EST all the way to 10. So we're looking at that 3-hour window to find out, is anything happening? And look at this wick right here, folks. I said trapped orders. It has literally came down to grab some orders, shot back up. Now, again, if you're trading futures, money could have been made on this one. But we have so much stuff at the bottom. So much stuff at the bottom. Now, let's throw this on as well, right? I like to use the VWAP on this one. It just kind of gives me a gauge. What is the average price, and overall, what is the market trending and doing right now as we speak, right? Does it look like it wants to go to the upside? Is it kind of moving around a little bit? So let's go ahead and pull out and see what we can see. Okay, you guys ready? I like it. Let me go ahead and doctor this up right quick as well. It's going to make it a little bit thicker. Let's go to this band, thicker. And let me just put beautiful. All right, folks, this is saying a lot right quick. This is saying a lot. Use the tool correctly. Look at this candle. Got a sale going on as we speak. Look at it, folks. This is live. Remember, I said trapped orders, right? We are seeing the orders getting filled as we speak. Also, look at the momentum of this 15-minute candle. And if you look at the momentum of this 15-minute candle, it has taken out zones. So guess what? This was one zone. Let me just start putting numbers. That was one right here as well. Look at this. That's two. You guys see it? And this would be three. We're talking about pre-market setups, right? Look at this wig, though. Like, this is so important for you to see. So let's put all this stuff together, right? The VWAP line is the blue line. You guys see it. It's the blue line. And on this blue line, if you look at what it means, volume weighted average price, institutions use that because they're trying to get a gauge of what the market value is of a particular asset. So what's the going price that people either buy and sell this? And so just kind of look at this trajectory, right? This is very good tool to use correctly. And again, you want to use this with supply and demand zones. Notice how we have the outline of the green line right here as well in here. And it seems like this almost serves as a magnet where it gets around this area and drops. It's kind of bouncing back and forth from green line to green line. And then it does it again and bounces. But a lot of times, if you start to see it break down past this blue line, which is the VWAP line, and if I were to kind of see points where it's at, that's at 19,972 even. Okay. In that area, price was bouncing, and now we're seeing it go back and forth. But from what we can gauge in the past, we can see that this candle really wants to really check this line. Does everybody see that? Yeah, wants to check it out, right? It's going back and forth. A lot of times when I'm trading, I'll see how far it is from these outlines, and I'll kind of play outline to outline. And here's another thing as well. A lot of times you'll see that this candle sometimes will break below this on the outside. It might venture out for a little bit, but it always kind of goes back to the VWAP line. Does that make sense? Let me just go ahead and check the chat. Hopefully this is helping everybody. Yeah. Good. Jen said, I like to see a poke at 1970, 50, then a fall internally. Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? Yes. Let's get some more. Joke of the day. Let's see what he said. The Middle Ages are called the Dark Ages because there were too many nights. I like that, man. You put a good sense of humor in here because everybody's so serious. Thank you, good looking Charge. I appreciate you, brother. Good. Let's see. We have made a M1, like Coach Chapman calls it, a broke a 15-minute low. Want to see the market open and fake out to the upside, then drop. Look at that, folks. We're seeing this stuff live as we speak. I just want to ask a question. Do you think it's going to clear out that low at the bottom? And if you do, is this the type of trade that you like to take? Very important. Very important. Yeah. Let's keep it going. So I'm going to go back here. And again, I'm zooming out. I'm looking at the volume to the downside. And what I like about this is pre-market. Folks, look at this candle. Remember I said we want to see if it can take out that low. And the low that I have is this one. And let's just clone this as well. Uh-oh, you guys see it? Look at it. Yeah, it's a nice size candle as well. Now remember, we have a zone. We have a wick. We have this one right quick as well. We have it to the left. So looking to the left on two sides. Now, here's what's crazy. Does everybody remember what this represents? This dotted line was the high of Friday's candle. It was the high. And look at this, folks. Look at the size of this candle. Now, somebody let me know if you're making some money over here as well, man, because if you've been listening to this and we've been doing just a deep dive and looking at these zones, now you did not hear me say sell. But if you're seeing the red candles, you're seeing the zones. We've shown it to you where we're going. And look at this, folks. It's happening as we speak. A lot of money to be made to the downside. Track with me. Let's just look at it. And it's always fun. Now, let me blow your mind a little bit as well. You can actually go back on this broadcast, which I thought I was actually sharing the screen. And guess where we were not even 15, 20 minutes ago? We were in this consolidation right here as well. Does everybody see the orange rectangle box? Everybody see it? Let me just change this to red so it sticks out. That's where we were. You guys see that? And look what happened. Bounced around, bounced around, bounced around. And we're having almost a break of this area. Let's zoom out, and then I'll be done with this broadcast today. Look at what I said before. Tokyo session, very choppy, very choppy. What did London start off with? And this was going at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? It started with a big fake to the downside, right? And look what happened. It took a lot of people's money. Then it bounced back. So London had a range, and this is crazy. 19934 all the way to the top 2013. And next thing we know, it was a seller's paradise. It just came in, some more fake outs, some more fake outs, some more fake outs. The question is, do you think that they're doing some fake outs to grab money to take it to the upside? Or do you think it's going to be a continuation to the downside? Put a 7 in the chat if you guys are getting some value out of this. Let me know if you're getting some value. Yeah, somebody talk to me, please. But I am looking at this purple zone, and that's what I would be going for myself. Yep, I like this zone. Maybe 19,948, 950, which would be right around here. Let me just put a green line. You guys see it? All right, let's see if my target can be hit. Come on, let's watch it. We got Wix, Wix, Wix. Couple of dollars. Uh-oh. This is fun. We have a $2 move. Now think about it. You trading some contracts. You can make some money off that. Quick and easy. Now, guess what? I am very aware. Very aware. Please listen, folks. This is why you don't chase candles. Of what's going on to the left. You guys see it? So we are running into some resistance. Uh-oh. This is getting close. You guys getting excited? Like it's going to spike down. I'm believing it is. Uh-oh. Almost. Boom. We got there to the zone. We got there to the zone. Oh, that felt good, yeah? So ladies and gentlemen, let me just kind of go to this, right? I want to kind of stop here. And somebody said, well, I cannot see the chat. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. We got Mike in the house as well. Write this down, please. Seize the opportunity. Seize the opportunity, right? And I'll just kind of talk over. Again, like I said, my take profit was the purple area. Let's look at this move, which was beautiful with a capital B. Look at this, folks. We first came in, it was very choppy, right? Very choppy in here. The move was from 19,978 all the way to 19,948. Folks, that's a 30-point move. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much money you're going to make because this is very highly regulated, but let's just say that could have been a month's wage, definitely a day's wage, even just on one contract. That could have been a couple of $100. Now, there's one word that everybody needs to work on, and that word is called patience. And I was listening to a gentleman the other day, and I love what he says. He says, in day trading, we get paid to be patient. We get paid to be patient. Somebody write that down, please. We get paid to be patient. It's easy to jump in. I've been guilty of it, so I'll never act like I'm some type of guru, and I haven't made that mistake. I've done it plenty of times. I don't even want to talk about it. What I do know is that the times that I've tried to force money were the times that money evaded me. But also I've seen that when I've taken time to allow the trades to come to me, to look at the setups, to look at the market structure, those were the very times that I made the most amount of money. And so in this mindset piece, I want to talk about seizing the opportunity, but being patient to allowing the opportunities to come to you. Put a 7 if you agree with that. Don't force it. And truth be told, the markets don't care what you got going on. They don't care that you got a bill. They don't care that you want to get out of debt and you got dreams and goals. The markets respect skill. And what I always tell people is the markets will actually reveal yourself to you, right? You'll find out if you're impatient, if you're impulsive, if you're revengeful, and whatever adjective that I can come up with. But what I've learned is if you take some time, the time potentially can give you some freedom. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go ahead and end right quick as well. Let me go ahead and share this. So see if I can put it in the chat. I don't know if it'll go through. You guys can have this markup. Let me see if I can zoom out so it's a little bit more clean. This is the 1 hour time frame. Let me take out this big circle. And hopefully you got some value out of today's session. Yeah, that's what's most important to me. Because at the end of the day, I want you to win. And winning comes because we practice it. We don't just win because, hey, man, that'd be nice to win. No. We practice for this game. We really do. We practice for it. So let me see if I can share that in the chat. Okay. You guys let me know if you saw that. Okay. Should say Kingdom Day Traders, and there's a link. If you can copy that, that link is actually the chart itself. And the best way to gauge this is that you pull up on your computer, you look at the setup that I have, you start looking to the left, you look at the red line at the bottom, right, which is called the point of control, and you want to see, is it possible that the markets will drive price down that way? Now, please write this down as well if you're listening to me. You need to expect manipulation when the market's open. You need to expect it. It shouldn't be like, oh my gracious, I don't know what happened. You need to expect the manipulation. Let me just go to the 5 minute. You know, I got a coach's heart, man, because I thought I was out of here, but I got to say this one piece. Just watch this, folks. Does everybody see this move from here to here? Got to identify this. This is good. Let me do this. You guys see that? This was London session, 2:05 in the morning, and this was 4:15. Just write down this number, please, because I think we have a range. In less than 2 hours during London session, and this was 34 bars at the 5 minutes, it moved $78.25. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? $78.25. Now, if you know anything about futures, it's in ticks. So you take 78.25 times 4. Wow, let me get my calculator for this move. Hold on a second. Wow, wish I would have been up at this time, right? 78.25 times 4, and that was 313 ticks. Wow. When you're trading the NASDAQ, one contract is 5 ticks. Okay. So I'm sorry, $5 a tick. That's one contract. Yep. So a point is $20. Just on one contract, you could look at $20 times 78.25. And on one contract, that was $1,565. But 10 contracts would have been $15,000. Why am I sharing that with you? You have to understand the opportunity that's at hand. But even more so, what I wanted to show was this. I want to take out a fib tool, and I want to identify this swing low to this swing high here. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me zoom out. I'm going to take off some of this stuff so we could actually see it. Bear with me, folks. Just trying to clean it up for you guys so you won't get lost. Is that okay? And let's take off this VWAP. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Let's move this number 3 because that was a zone. So let's get a different perspective. Swing low, Swing high, London session. We have the points: 0.236, 0.38, 0.50, 0.68, 0.786, and then 100% retracement. Let me just say this to everybody. We are in a deep discount, a deep discount. What do I mean by that? If we look at how high this went, and again, this price point was 20,012 all the way down here. Okay. So what we're looking for is a break of structure at these lines. But if we do not get it, please listen to me and you don't pull the trigger yet. This possibly could be a setup where it's went down deep, almost retraced, almost 100%, not yet, because the next one would be 78.6, 0.786. But imagine, I'm just giving you both directions on this one. What if you were able to buy around here to take it back up to the side? Are you guys track with me? Now, the flip side is we don't know that yet. We would hope that it would keep on dropping, but let's not form our bias. Let's look at what the market is saying. Let's look at it, what it's done. And let me just ask this. I'm going to point two things out, and that's why it's good for us to get on this. And I said I got to go, which I do, but I think this is very important. Let me just change this. Let's just put this in green. You guys see that? So look at this wick right here. That's one. So if I copy this, I can see the same move. Come on, Brian. I can see the same move right here. Almost at the same exact spot, which then tells me that there's probably another move right here. So write this down, folks. And again, I'm just throwing this out there. I believe that it will probably wick to 19,934. I'd be safe and say 19,936. Let me just put a line over here. You know what? I want to go a little bit higher. Let's just say 19,938. You guys see that? 19,938. Now, if it comes down this low, it's very possible. And again, I'm looking for a wick because I saw a wick here. I saw another wick here. We might have another wick here. If it does not break below this level, it's very possible that we could see it grab some orders because remember, there's orders that have been trapped right around here. You guys see that? Orders have been trapped. But what if the setup is to grab some of these orders into manipulation, fake it down to then take it to the upside? So hopefully that helps somebody. I just kind of saw that as I was speaking, and I didn't want to get away and not share that with you guys. Let me do another screenshot because I cleaned some stuff up. But hopefully this is helping, man. Like the way that I learn, I'm a very visual learner. So, I mean, we can learn concepts all day long, but I like to see it just live. Like if you can show me and I can start to kind of get a visual, we're seeing the buying and selling going on. We saw that price came down here, correct? We know that the market is going to open. So again, I'm looking for that manipulation. Be on the lookout for the manipulation. Okay. So let's copy the link and then I'll share this one more again, if this is helping. Before I leave, somebody give me a takeaway. Are you getting some value in this? Did this help you? Like, is it giving you a different view of the market? Because that's what's important. Are you getting a different view? Right. I like what Jen said. We have accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Absolutely, we do. If you don't understand what those tools are, you need to know them. You need to know them. Thank you, Jen. I think that's powerful. Yeah. Let's go to good looking Chargers. This is our guy, man. He's going to leave some good notes. Fib to the low to the high swings. London session, point of control, 3 points, deep discount. How high it went, 2012, price looking, break of structure, possibility of buying from the pivot point to upside last high price, but at the same time, we do not know the discount and the fact that the downside probability to 19,936 target, which is the low or above the low of 19,938. Sir, if you type that fast, you are the man. That's exactly what I said. Let's go down a little bit more. Anybody else? Anybody else? I like what Good Luck the Charger also said as well. Seize the opportunity and beautiful move. So, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Pay attention to this chart. Definitely some money to be made, and hopefully we can make this together. Please see my 3M's with me, and I want you to have an amazing day on purpose. Mindset, multiplication, and management, the M3 strategy. You got to work the strategy. You got to practice this strategy. You got to get with people that know what they're doing and teach in a way that it can make some sense. But one of the biggest takeaways is get some coaching. It's one thing for you to watch me. It's another thing for us to work together. And if you guys look at that candle, we're getting some doggone momentum. Are you guys seeing this? We're getting some momentum. So since we're getting that momentum, let's be intentional, but let's not chase it. Another thing that I've seen in this is that you can find a good trade, but if you do it too early, you can be greedy and have a bad entry and still end up losing. Does that make sense? So hopefully you guys had a blessed session. If you're watching a recording, it's like the first 20 minutes of me just talking. I thought my screen was being shared, but it's not. So if you're watching a recording, write down hashtag replay, probably skip to the 2025 mark. And that way you'll start seeing me actually share the screen. So it's not a black screen or me just talking the whole time. I was actually teaching, but I didn't share the screen correctly. Okay. Do me a favor, be blessed on purpose. Have an amazing day. Okay, guys? Cheers now. God bless. Thank you.